Here we are then, part 2. This is exactly where we left off. I've got the heater on because it's a little nippy in here this morning. It's Good Friday. And yes, well, I'm going to carry on taking this off late. Now what I've had to do, there's a snap ring here, big snap ring. It's very strong and it holds these two gears together. It basically holds the shafts together. And I've had to remove that, which was a bit of a struggle. I do apologise, I just got interrupted, but it's fine. Honestly, everything's fine. So yes, so that snap ring, that basically joins two shafts together. And this, if you remember, is... See, I'm just... even though I've got shelves and stuff like that, we need to wait for recycling day so I can get rid of most of that. Those are the old SLK rear lights, but anyway, there's this. This is the centrifugal clutch that sits in there, and what happens is when the crank spins up, it throws these shoes out on the outside, grips this drum exactly like the chainsaw, and then when it grips this drum will start to rotate, and that powers the other clutch, which is like your traditional motorcycle clutch. And how that operates is it's usually engaged, and then when you press down on the gear lever, it actually knocks this out. It like sort of puts it in a temporary neutral, and then you slap your other gear in and it's back in again. So I've now got that snap ring off, so this should now come off. Excellent. And then we can get at the other clutch. You see what I mean? Look, it's got grooves on there, that's got grooves in there, and then this big snap ring holds it all together. So now this, I believe they refer it as the primary clutch, because it's the first one to engage, and then it engages this one obviously when it goes spinny spinny spinny. So now I can get the clutch pack out of this. That's the idea anyway. Good. Right, what we do now, just like a traditional motorcycle clutch, we're going to start backing these off evenly, because obviously they're now under spring tension and we need to sort of back them off evenly, even though I've got a couple out a little bit bigger. So we'll get our little 10mm. What's the betting? I'm the wrong way around with this. I was going to use the ratchet, but yes, I still might have to use the ratchet, to be honest. Right, I'm going to have to hold it and use the spanner. Changed my mind. I'm going to use a ratchet. That's better. And there's our springs. Just like a traditional bike kit, we will measure these springs. They do have a service limit, and to be honest, the bike's not massively high miles. It's only got about 26,000, something like that. I might be completely wrong, but we will measure these just to make sure they are within service limit. And for now, I'm just putting everything in this casing. I have got a service manual, because when all this goes back together, it's absolutely critical to know which washer goes where, because it does rely on spacings and stuff like that. Right, I think we need the buzz gun now. Get that off. I'm thinking that's about a 17. What we got here? 17. Oh, you little bugger. It's a 19. I've also got a 19 now. Yep. Is it a 19? Do you know it is? Right, let's put you back up top on your little perch, and then I'll buzz this off. Shouldn't need any special holding tool. Obviously, when I put it back together and I torque it back up, I have got clutch holding tool, which is in there somewhere, and you know, it will get all torqued up properly, and I'll paint mark it and all that rollocks. So right, I shall put you on the perch of observation where you probably can't see anything, and I'll buzz this off. Looks like I'm going to have to use my holding tool. Stand by. Nice. So there we go. That's that off, and now we should be able to pull all this off as one, and then we can inspect the steels and the friction plates. Yes, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Jim, you're very good at moving things one-handed. Hopefully it will clear these gears, will it? Oh yeah, these gears have got to come off as well, by the looks of it. Nice. And that's all your gubbins for your gear change. That's the pawl. You know, when you get the click on the lever, that's the pawl. So it should be in neutral at the moment. Nice. Oh, that's nice. But that's your gear output shaft for the clutch. This is actually the con rod up here. And then I'm guessing that's something like a balancer gear, because it's got a spring in it, which means it can take shock. Starter motor's up there. That engages on a gear the other side. This is all part of your gear change mechanism. I believe that is the oil pump, because I think it's the only gear in here that's nylon. Ooh, my spectacles have just fallen down. I am having to wear my glasses with this because a lot of it is very close at work. Just through there, look, you can actually see the crank through there. Can I spin it? No, Jim, because that's a gear set, you idiot. There you go. There's the crank. There's the con rod going up and down. Yeah, all very technical, but it's all sort of quite simple as well, as long as you get everything back together in the right order. If you put the wrong washer in somewhere on this, it can lock the whole motor up, believe it or not, because the clearance is too tight. So I'm going to crack on, and yes, it might do a montage. Might get the starter motor out next. Yes. Terrible camera work, James. Terrible. I also had the impact gun on the wrong fucking way around. This is the bolt that's stuck, basically, which is what I've cut the wire on. We will sort all that out, but I want to get the starter motor out, clean it all up, split it, knock the carbon out, etc. That is the end of your gear change. That's what your gear change lever attaches to, because all the way through the cases, and all this gubbins acts on all this shite, which is going to be great fun to remember how to put together. I'm so glad I've got a service manual. Yes.
12 seconds later.
Okay, that is the oil pump, and the thing to check on this is obviously the state of these nylon gears, because if the engine ever has a bit of a lock-up or anything like that, it's these gears that are designed to shear. They can fail, they are known to fail, so maybe, just maybe, while we've got all this apart, it might be worth me ordering a new gear. I shall see. But you can see the ports, the inlet and outlet ports and what have you. You can see there. So yeah, but the good news is I can't see any forbidden glitter in the pump, so I'm hoping all the bits that come off the piston were sort of that big that they've just gone to the bottom, and the ones that are really small, they were caught in the filters before they got to the pump, because there's nothing on that, so I'm happy with that. But I think, purely because the age of the bike as well, 2009, so it's possibly built 2008, I may well, there is nothing wrong with that gear, but I may well, because obviously nylon goes brittle, just order a new one. Nice. Yes. Oh God, look at all the shit in here. Anyway, I will be organised one day. It's just that we don't know when that day is. It will probably be this century. Right, the next thing now is, there looks like there's a little bit of gasket there. Lovely. But this side of the casing, I'm seeing no glitter. This sooting is perfectly normal with used oil. In fact, this is pretty clean. It's pretty clean. If I put a bit of carb clean or brake clean on that, that will just come straight off. That's just a natural reaction of the oil getting hot. So yes, I will continue the disassembly. In fact, I'm going to crack on, do a bit more, then I'll bring you back.
A few moments later.
Folks, that stripped it down a little bit more. Just got to be I've not found any chunkage, so that's good. All the bearings look good, and giving them the finger test. Oh no, we'll do that properly. Giving them the finger test. They are all good so far. They've got no crap in it. This is the balancer shaft, and I should have worked that out, because the balancer shaft normally has a little like shock absorber system based into it. But the reason we know it's a balancer shaft as well, there is a timing mark there which we need to make wary of, is if I spin it, a timing shaft is basically a counterweight. It should recenter itself. There you go. Like a Rolls Royce hubcap. There we go. So yes, I know that's been marked. There is a tiny little timing pip there, and the gear that it meshed with is here. So hopefully there's a little timing. Oh yeah, there is. There's a little timing pip on there as well. You can barely see it, but it is there. There's a tiny mark just there. All this is explained in the manual of Spaniel. So yes, that'll be timed properly, because if you don't time the balancer shaft, it's actually going to act against the crank and not for it, if you understand my meaning. Somebody has actually marked it there, look, with a paint spot. That was probably from the factory. And there's the other one. That paint mark is just to show that the nut's been tightened. Right, we'll crack on then. Lovely. I've got about as far as I can get on the other side. And I've just removed a bolt, and I'm not sure whether it's actually broke inside the casings. The end of the thread didn't look finished, if you know what I mean. So I don't know, we might be dealing with a snapped bolt in there, but it looks like it's just a casing clamp bolt. There's only one that side, I think. So I'm now going to get this outer cover off, spin the stator wheel off, and then we can start getting rid of all them outer casing bolts, and we'll see how far we get. Yes, and then everything can be cleaned up. Nice. Sort of nice. Semi-nice. It's nice to have a semi on. Yes. There was nothing to fight against. Schoolboy error. I took all the outer bolts out, but forgot that the oil screen cover bolt goes into the casing. Stupid Jimmy. Don't worry, all that will make sense one day. So I should be able to pull this off. Come on. That's it. Come on. There we go. One stator housing. Stator looks good. Big old gasket. Stator looks good. Don't worry about that. That's just what I've shoved in there. Right. Sorted. Yes. Well, that's about as far as I can take it today. All the casing bolts are out, but I need the proper flywheel puller to take that off, because I'm not going down the gorilla in ignorance route. I'll do it with the puller because it's so much easier. I do have a couple of pullers. That one's for the Aprilia. That one was for a Suzuki RM125, and I thought, oh, I might have just looked out, but no, because that's what they call an internal, that's an external, or vice versa. So yes, I'm going to order one. They're only about £6, so I shall get on to that directly. But we have stripped all the other side. That's all gone. So now once we get this out and the starter gears out, we're pretty much good to start splitting a case, which is where I think we will find the hidden glitter. It'll be seconds for you, it'll probably be a day or two for me. Nice.
Day 2.
Beverage. Yes, the first coffee of the day. It is now the next day, Easter Saturday. So, how far I got yesterday, I've managed to strip it down enough and start splitting the cases. I'm waiting on the puller for the stator because I have a few pullers and I haven't got that one, so I've ordered it. It's coming today, but it's not super duper critical at the minute that comes off. I just wanted to start splitting the cases because they will go that way if necessary. The only thing that's stopping it at the moment is the starter motor. There is only 2 mounting bolts for the starter motor here and just around there, and it's a good sign that the engine has probably never ever been apart in its life. The problem is there's obviously an O-ring that goes in there to prevent water and shite ingress into the case, and quite often because it's either going to be a steel end or an aluminium end on this starter motor. If it's, and it's worst case scenario in both, if it's steel it can sort of chemically weld itself to the case, and also if it's alloy you can get a bit of alloy corrosion, a bit like what happens with brake pistons. Quite often it can just be the O-ring swollen that can keep it in there. So I've left it. This is a brake caliper tool, and I've just put some reasonable pressure on the studs right down low, because studs can easily be straightened. So I've done that, put a wedge in there, and I've just left it under slight tension overnight. I've just gave it another full rotation, and I'm just putting pressure on it, basically a little bit of pressure. But what I'm going to do is I've soaked it down with this WD and all that lot overnight. I am going to reposition this so it sits a little bit lower on the studs, and then I'm going to just apply some gentle heat around there. I have a water spray handy in case it decides to barbecue. Stand by. If you really listened, you probably heard the odd crack then. I'm hoping it's the corrosion just breaking up. Now if you heat it up and that alloy has expanded even ever so slightly, if you put some WD in or equivalent, it will actually suck it in. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. But I could hear that going, and it's, you know, there's no point rushing it because we're going to break things if we do. So yes, nice. I mean, I have tried wailing on the end of the starter with a brush punch and all that lot, and it wasn't moving. So gently is the way to go. Hopefully next time I turn the camera on, it'll be out. Stand by. slow and steady eddy. So I'm just going to keep going up at that. I'll put a tiny bit more pressure on that, and then hopefully it will go. I mean, if I probably wailed on it now, it would probably go, but I don't want to wail on it. No, you don't do, Jim. No.
One eternity later.
I'll get in there slowly but surely. This is only about 10 minutes later. We've got a little bit of wigglage, which is way more than we had before. Now I could, if I could spin that round enough, not one-handed, Jimmy, I could possibly stick an 8mm bolt down there if the holes weren't all capped up, butt it up against that and try and walk it out with the bolt, but that's going to be sort of biased to one side. So I don't know, I'll keep working at it. It's obviously working because it's getting loose. I've just had a pick around this edge and I'm trying to get some WD in it. Nice. Anyway, I'll carry on. It's coming. I can now actually get wigglage. It is coming. It just doesn't look like it is, but we've now got that much separation. So yes, the answer is not wailing on the end of the gear. It was heat this casing up, spray it down, wiggle it, hit it up, spray it down, wiggle it. So that's what I'm doing. So stand by, folks. Hopefully it'll be out any minute. Yes. You little bastard. And that's all that was keeping it in. It's the corrosion on the and what it does, it jacks the O-ring out and makes it super tight, just like it does with brake calipers. But now that little bastard's out, I can actually hopefully split the cases. Bum holes. Good, you little twat. Jimmy, what? Press the button. Press the button. Suzuki say you have to buy a specialised tool to split these cases, and basically what it is, it looks like a big sort of flywheel puller, adjustable, and you have long legs and it bolts into the casing things, you know, and then you put the centre pivot thing in there. Well, all I've done is gradually prise the cases apart with these scrapey bar things, because what we're trying to do is to pop the crank out that bearing. When you zip the cases and everything back together again, that will seat that bearing. But yes, and I've just managed to do it with that, and I've got a little gap going, lifted it up slightly, lifted it up by this half, and then just gently tapped the crank and these, and it went. So these are now split. Chunkage. I am so happy that we have found forbidden glitter. Now that might look a lot, not look a lot. You can, but if that gets into bearings, got between the crank and whatever, engine fooked. So I'm really glad I can clean all this out now. So yeah, mission successful. So yes, now it's on to cleanage. Close your eyes, and it never happened. Anyway, old new barrel, top end. That's all that's gonna go back. All that is your primary and secondary clutches and all the washers, etc. I'm bound to lose something. It wouldn't be a proper rebuild if I didn't have at least one bolt left over. So anyway, we have found chunkage, but all the bearings are really good. You can see a bit of chunkage. This is why I'm doing this, because there is no way that hole in the piston just forms. Sometimes you're really lucky and it literally just deforms the piston and doesn't smash it. But let's take you a tour around the bottom half. Chunkage. So yeah, this is why we're doing it. All this is going to come apart. I'm just waiting for the flywheel puller. I can pull the flywheel off to the side, get the crank out. This is your gearbox. The gearbox on Phyllis is actually bigger than the fucking engine if you think about it. This bit, that's your crank. Conrod, flywheel, balancer shaft. So this and those two bits there are responsible for getting this fat oaf up the road. The box of gears is responsible for my speed. So yeah, I'm really happy that I've found the shit. I've quickly inspected all the gears. They're all fine. All the bearings appear to be fine, but we're going to wash them all out. We're going to clean the cases up, because impatient old me would have gone, brilliant, I found the problem, clean it out, stick it back together again. But no, all this is going to be cleaned, probably painted. Nice. That's probably it for this one. Right, just got to wait for the flywheel puller now, whip the crank out, and then that's this case completely empty as well. That is your gear indicator with neutral 1, 2, 3, 4. The switch is the other side. You are supposed to unscrew it from the other side and then pull the spring out and all that lot, but it can be put back the way I've just took it apart. Nice. So yeah, chunkage. So I think that's accounted for it all. There is none in the bearings, so that's great. Obviously it when it smashed, it just went straight past the crank, and being heavier, settled. Nice. I think we'll end that one here. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Yeah.